US just triggered China's silicon siege. 48-hour countdown to chip war escalation. Part 2. The clock is ticking. In just 48 hours, the US-China chip war is about to explode into a silicon siege that could reshape the global tech landscape forever. 3 US tech giants are at the heart of this high-stakes battle, and today, on Revo Now, we're revealing their names. Stay until the end to uncover the truth behind this technological showdown and what it means for the future of AI, smartphones, and global power. You won't believe who's pulling the strings. Welcome back to Revo Now, where we dive deep into the stories that shape our world. If you missed part 1 of our US-China chip war series, we broke down how this technological Cold War began, with the US slamming China with unprecedented sanctions to choke its semiconductor industry. Now, in part 2, we're taking you inside the latest escalation, a 48-hour countdown that's pushing the world toward a silicon siege. The US has just tightened the screws, and China is hitting back hard. 3 US tech giants are driving this battle, and their identities will shock you. Buckle up, because this is beyond imagination. Before we dive in, if you love cutting-edge tech insights and global power plays, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let's get Revo Now trending and keep the truth alive. Let's set the stage. Semiconductors, those tiny chips powering your smartphone, car, laptop, and even military drones, are the lifeblood of the modern world. In 2025, the US-China chip war isn't just about tech, it's about who controls the future of artificial intelligence, 5G networks, and global dominance. The US has been relentless, rolling out export controls, tariffs, and bans to stop China from accessing cutting-edge chips and the tools to make them. But China's not sitting idle. Beijing's Made in China 2025 plan is pouring billions into its semiconductor industry, aiming for self-reliance by 2030. And now, a new move by the US has triggered what experts call a silicon siege, a 48-hour escalation that could change everything. Why does this matter? Advanced chips, like those used in AI data centers, are critical for everything from autonomous vehicles to hypersonic missiles. If China catches up, it could shift the balance of power. If the US maintains its lead, it could cripple China's tech ambitions. But here's the kicker. 3 US companies are at the forefront of this war, and their role could make or break the outcome. Let's dive into the latest escalation and reveal who they are. In May 2025, the US dropped a bombshell. The Department of Commerce announced sweeping restrictions targeting China's access to advanced semiconductor tools, software, and materials. This wasn't just another sanction. It was a calculated move to choke China's chip design capabilities. According to Reuters, companies supplying electronic design automation, EDA, software, crucial for designing chips, were told they now need licenses to ship to Chinese firms. This move hit Beijing like a thunderbolt, threatening to stall its progress in AI and advanced tech. But China didn't wait long to retaliate. Just 48 hours later, China's Ministry of Commerce fired back, banning exports of critical minerals like gallium, germanium, and antimony to the US. These materials are essential for chip manufacturing, and China controls over 80% of their global supply. This tit-for-tat escalation has sent shockwaves through the tech world, raising fears of supply chain chaos. Prices for antimony trioxide have already skyrocketed by 228% in 2025, according to Argus data. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the world is watching to see who blinks first. But who's driving this US offensive? 3 American tech giants hold the keys to this silicon siege, and their technologies are the backbone of the US strategy. Let's reveal their names and unpack their roles. Here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. The 3 US tech giants at the heart of the 2025 chip war escalation are Synopsys, Cadence Design Systems, and NVIDIA. These companies aren't just players, they're the architects of the US's technological dominance. Let's break down their roles and why they're critical to this silicon siege. First up, Synopsys. If you've never heard of them, you're not alone. They operate behind the scenes, but their impact is massive. Synopsys is a leader in electronic design automation, EDA software, the tools that engineers use to design the complex chips powering everything from your iPhone to AI supercomputers. According to industry reports, Synopsys, along with Cadence and Siemens, controls over 70% of the EDA market in China. Without their software, Chinese firms like Bright Semiconductor and VeriSilicon can't design advanced chips. The US's new restrictions on EDA software exports directly target Synopsys, making it a linchpin in the silicon siege. In 2025, Synopsys reaffirmed its revenue forecast despite the export curbs, showing confidence in its global dominance. But here's the suspense. If China finds a way to bypass these restrictions, like developing its own EDA tools, Synopsys' grip could weaken. Will they hold the line? Or is China closer to cracking the code than we think? Next, we have Cadence Design Systems, another EDA giant that's shaping the chip war. Like Synopsys, Cadence provides critical software for designing semiconductors used by Chinese firms like Zhuhai Jieli. Their tools are essential for creating chips smaller than 16 nanometers, the kind that power AI and 5G networks. The US's May 2025 restrictions hit Cadence hard, requiring licenses for sales to China. This move could kneecap China's chip design ambitions, but it's a double-edged sword. Cadence's stock bounced back 3.5% after the announcement, signaling investor confidence, but the risk of Chinese retaliation looms large. Here's where it gets spicy. China's already investing billions in its own EDA tools to break free from Cadence's dominance. If they succeed, it could flip the script on the US's tech chokehold. The clock is ticking. Will Cadence stay ahead, or is China's counterattack closer than we think? And now, the big reveal. NVIDIA, the undisputed king of AI chips. NVIDIA's H100 Tensor Core GPUs are the gold standard for AI, powering everything from ChatGPT to autonomous vehicles. The US's export controls since 2022 have blocked NVIDIA from selling these advanced chips to China, forcing Beijing to rely on older models or smuggled processors. But in 2025, China's response was brutal. They launched an antitrust investigation into NVIDIA, accusing them of monopolistic practices. This isn't just business. It's a direct shot at the US's AI dominance. NVIDIA's role in the chip war is pivotal. Their GPUs are the backbone of the AI revolution, and the US is betting on them to keep China at bay. But here's the cliffhanger. China's SMIC and Huawei are making strides in 7-nanometer chips, and they're not far from building AI processors of their own. Can NVIDIA maintain its lead, or will China's silicon siege break through? China's not taking this lying down. Beijing's Made in China 2025 strategy is in overdrive, with $47.5 billion invested in 2024 alone to boost domestic chip production. Companies like SMIC and Yangtze Memory Technologies are racing to close the gap, producing 7-nanometer chips despite US sanctions. China's also weaponizing its control over rare earth minerals, banning exports of gallium and germanium to the US. These materials are critical for chips, and their absence could disrupt American tech giants like Synopsys, Cadence, and NVIDIA. The global impact is staggering. Supply chain disruptions are already spiking prices for electronics, from smartphones to electric vehicles. Analysts predict that by 2029, China could control half the world's legacy chip production, threatening Western dominance. Meanwhile, allies like the Netherlands and Japan are tightening their own export controls, with Dutch giant ASML facing Chinese espionage attempts to steal chip-making tech. This isn't just a US-China fight, it's a global tech war. But what does this mean for you? Higher prices, delayed products, and a world where tech innovation could be held hostage by geopolitics. The 48-hour countdown has set off a chain reaction, and the fallout is just beginning. So, where do we go from here? The US is doubling down on its CHIPS Act, pumping billions into domestic chip production with companies like Intel and TSMC. But China's not backing down, investing $1.4 trillion in its tech sector through 2025. The battle for AI and semiconductor supremacy is heating up, and the three US giants, Synopsys, Cadence, and NVIDIA, are in the crosshairs. Will they hold the line, or will China's silicon siege break through? The suspense is unbearable. If China develops its own EDA tools or advanced AI chips, the US's tech dominance could crumble. If the US tightens restrictions further, we could see a full-blown trade war that disrupts global markets. Either way, the next 48 hours could set the stage for a decade of tech conflict. That's it for part 2 of our US-China chip war series on Revo Now. What did you think of the three US tech giants, Synopsys, Cadence, and NVIDIA, driving this silicon siege? Are you worried about China's retaliation, or do you think the US will stay ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know what you want to see next. Should we dive into China's rare earth strategy, the role of AI in this war, or maybe the impact on your favorite tech gadgets? Hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe with notifications on to stay in the loop. Thanks for watching Revo Now. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one. The future of tech is beyond imagination. This is Revo Now signing off.
Subscribe to Revo Now and join our vibrant community of forward thinkers, change makers, and revolutionaries.